Vanakkam, Namaskar, and good evening, everybody. My name is N.C. Bipindra. I'm the managing trustee of Center for South Indian Studies, which is the host of today's evening's broadcast. Is Professor K.G. Suresh. He's a senior journalist, but is currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of the Makanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Communication in Bhopal. Prior to this assignment, Suresh was also the Director General of the prestigious Indian Institute of Mass Communication, and he's a very dear friend of mine. Professor K.G. Suresh, I request him to make his remarks at this time.
Thank you. First of all, please accept my congratulations for bringing this. This was, unfortunately, this was not discussed the way it should have been. It's a very important judgment. And I'm glad that, you have at least drawn the attention of the important segments of the society towards this judgment. More than the judgments, we are fortunate that this time the judgment has come this way. But for me, the important issue is that look at the mindset. A mindset which says that because something is sin, considered sin in my belief system, you cannot do it. The public roads constructed by public money belongs to me, belongs to us. You have absolutely no business to be there. That is the mindset. This ghettoism. And today you see that happening. I am personally a witness to, when I go back to my village, and I've seen that every day in my uncle's place, when I wake up, I would always wake up with hymns in the background, with Vedic chants in the background from the temple loudspeaker. But over the last few years, it has all stopped. It has all stopped not because of any other reason, only that one family has shifted in there. Just one family. For me, of course, the bigger question is that in the premises of the temple, who decided to sell the land just because somebody is giving more money? We as a society need to introspect that. Anyways, I'm just highlighting that. But after that family moved in, I'm sure that most of us also believe that the shadow of the house should not fall on the temple. So we always keep a distance from the temple. Our houses maintain a distance from the temple. And where required, because my uncle's house was in the immediate vicinity, we never built the floor beyond the first floor because the shadow should not fall in the temple premises. But today, it is a multi-story building that has come up just next to the temple. And not only the shadow, but when you enter the temple, it is not the fragrance of the incense sticks, but the smell of non-vegetarian food that wafts through the air. We as a society need to think about it, why it is happening. For me, the judgment, yes, it is very significant, as rightly pointed out by the Honorable Judge and Karthikeyanji. But for me, far more in this, when everybody is talking about a lot about rights, about secularism, pluralism, diversity. For me, the fact that in 21st century India, in 2021, somebody is moving the court to say that don't allow a procession to happen because it goes against my religion. That is a matter of concern for me. And the bigger cause of concern for me is that the larger society seems to be not just unaware of these things, but also indifferent to these things. That is a larger cause of concern. And that is really worrying. I mean, I can cite instances, but that a community, a majority community, had to wait for 70 years to get a judgment in its favor, in favor of a place where it believes that its Supreme Lord was born. That is an indication. Now contrast this with what happened in the. So when these fanatical elements are raising their heads, how can you be so indifferent? That as a society, we need to introspect. It is not just about a procession that has, you know, that has been allowed. For me, I believe that this judgment, along with the application, the petition, for me, you see, generally, Bipin has been my colleague also. For a legal journalist, it is only the order part which is important. But for me, Bipindra, the petition is as much important as the order. It is important that we take around this petition and show what is intolerance to those people who do not know intolerance, who do not understand the meaning of intolerance. That is what needs to be done. Because this is something unbelievable. That how can, but this is not something I'm surprised with. In fact, I still remember till the time, believe me, I went to college, I was not aware even of, because that is the way we have all been brought up. I was not aware of differences. I still remember going on a college picnic, and there we go to a temple, and when I come out of that temple and they offer prasad, and I give it to one of my classmates who incidentally belonged to another religion, and he flatly refused to take it. And I said that, what happened? He said that it is against my religion. I said that, how does taking prasad, I mean, I could never understand, it's that it could harm or threaten your religion. But that is the way they have all along been groomed, brought up. My only thing is that I am all for pluralism. I'm all for diversity. I cannot be, like, that is why I am proud of my heritage. But I also need to survive. The survival instinct in mankind. Now that has become, today, can we survive as a people, as a culture? That is the bigger question that is coming today. And 4 families come in. The rest of the majority community starts vacating. This fear, why is it there? What is happening? It is this very mindset wherein you say that, look, you cannot practice your fundamental, your basic faith, which is your fundamental right, if you stay in this locality. How did these ghettos come into being? You look at the history of those ghettos. Those localities were never exclusive localities. But over the years, they have been turned into those localities. I'm sure that if you go into the history of this village also, you will find that gradually it has been taken over. As part of a planned, deliberate, conscious exercise, this is done. Bring in more of your people and ensure that. Now, This has been going on. Because now, you know, when the Bengal thing happened, I'm talking about not the elections. That may be a political issue. But I'm talking about the post-poll violence there. Come to think of it, so many women were raped, molested, assaulted. Not a word, not a word. It was all attributed to the frustration of a party because it was defeated. The entire thing was because there is a political agenda, because somebody has to be now projected as an alternative, as a national alternative, because what Bengal thinks today, India thinks tomorrow. That has to be proved. So even when Sitaram Yechuri is tweeting that my cadres are being killed, even when Subhashini Ali is saying that the women belonging to our party are being molested, when Shashi Tharoor is tweeting that party workers are being, but the entire blame is put on one particular party ruling the center and said that this is the outcome, whereas it was absolutely nothing political. It was absolutely vindictive and part of, and it was very clear who is doing it, why it is being done. And today everybody is talking about, there is a theory, entire thing of a greater Bangladesh that is sought to be created. People are taking it lightly. Forget everything else. It is the judiciary, whether it is this judgment or that famous judgment wherein it had said that Bangladeshi infiltration is nothing short of external aggression. That is what the Supreme Court had said. But in spite of that, we don't seem to understand. Bipindra, the most important thing is that, we often say that. It is there in our epics also. The thing is that this Hanuman keeps forgetting about his own strength. They need to be woken up. Unless they are woken up, nothing would change. Here, fortunately, with very eminent lawyers and jurists like Chidambaresh ji and Karthikeyan ji and other people, maybe we were able to win this particular case. But not in many cases, things are settled through judiciary. In majority of the cases, things are settled through muscle power. And you are unable to do anything. Fortunately, this came to light. What happened in Shitalakuchi in Bengal is known to everybody. And this has been happening. The only thing is that the society needs to wake up. We need to understand that the implications and overcome the petty narrow mindset that we are living in. Unless we overcome that, overcome our, what Karthikeyan ji referred to are, anti-Hindu, anti-North Indian, and all those narrow things we don't look at the larger picture. The day is not far when organizations like Hamas would be cropping up all over and throwing missiles at you. And remember, you are not Israel. That is all I need to say. I just think that this is a time not for celebration, of this judgment. Rather, this is a time for introspection and reflection. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh ji. Very aptly, I really am impressed with that last statement that you made regarding Hamas being created in India, and this nation Hindustan is not Israel. It kind of, I think it is the take-home point from your speech today, and thank you very much for that. It's a very powerful statement that you made there.